Welcome to What's Math. This video will focus on adding or subtracting integers. The first scenario we're going to look at is whenever the integers have the same sign. If they have the same sign, you want to keep the sign, then you want to add their absolute values. Now let's take a look at what is absolute value. Absolute value is the distance away from zero. And as we know, distance should always be positive except for below sea level. So for example, the absolute value of -3 is equal to 3 because it's 3 units away from 0. The absolute value of 0 will equal to 0 because it's at the same point. You did not move from that spot. The absolute value of 5 would be 5 because it's 5 units away from 0. Example, 3 plus 8. Both numbers are positive, therefore my answer should be positive. So 3 plus 8 is equal to 11, so it should be a positive 11. Example, -5 minus 13. I know some might be saying, but that's a minus 13. A minus 13 is technically a negative 13. Why? Because technically it is -5 plus -13, because the definition of subtraction is adding the additive inverse. So both integers are negative. So you want to keep that negative sign and add their absolute value. The absolute value of -5 is 5. The absolute value of -13 is 13. So it'll be negative, then 5 plus 13. 5 plus 13 is 18. So therefore your final answer is -18. The second scenario we want to look at is whenever they have different signs. First, keep the sign of the number with the largest absolute value. Second, you're going to do the biggest absolute value minus the smallest absolute value. And there's a diagram reminding you what is absolute value, is the distance away from 0. Example, 3 minus 18. So it's a positive 3 and a negative 18. The absolute value of positive 3 is 3. The absolute value of negative 18 is 18. And 18 is larger than 3. So therefore, my answer will be negative because it was a negative 18. So it would be negative 18 minus 3 because you're doing the big absolute value minus the smallest absolute value. 18 minus 3 is 15, so it'd be negative 15. Example, -5 plus 12. The absolute value of -5 is 5. The absolute value of positive 12 is 12. 12 is larger than 5, so therefore my answer will end up being positive. And it's going to be 12 minus 5. 12 minus 5 is 7, so my final answer is positive 7. Now let's check for understanding. There are two problems that you can try on your own, and then we can go over the answer. The first one is -13 minus 18. The second one is -33 plus 10. So go ahead and pause and work it out. Now let's go over the solutions. The first one is -15 minus 8. both numbers are negative, so I'm going to keep the sign. So it's going to be 15 plus 8, which is 23. So my answer is negative 23. In the second case, the absolute value of negative 33 is greater than the absolute value of 11. So therefore, my answer will be negative, and it's 33 minus 11, which is going to end up being negative 22. Hopefully, you got both of them correct, and you can give yourself a pat on the back. Good job. Now, subscribe and like my videos, please, and share. And support the channel. Also, if you like what you saw in the video, please go ahead and you can buy me a coffee if you want. It's not mandatory. Thank you so much for your support.